I want to have my own show, and Oprah, you need to find me because basically anytime something gets on your show, it becomes big. So I'm gonna try getting a connection with you somehow. When I first started my website in 2009, the first thing I did was create an intro video that included everything I wanted to do with the blog and my career, and I also included a little thing that told Oprah that I was going to find her, and I just didn't know how. I shot that in July 2009, and by October 2009, that's only 3 months later, I ended up being a guest on her show. Now, some of you are probably assuming that maybe I just found some contact to help me, or maybe she found my video and wanted to just give me that chance to meet her, but it really does go way beyond that, and I guess I'll just tell you the story. So I was at Iowa State University visiting a couple friends, and I remember looking at my phone and there was a voicemail from a number that was not saved on my phone. I listened to the voicemail, and just for the sake of privacy, I'm not going to say her real name, and I will call her Jane. I got a voicemail from Jane, who was apparently one of the producers for the Oprah Winfrey Show, and she said they liked my submission and they wanted to know if I'd be interested in taking part in one of the episodes that they're shooting. And I thought it was a joke because, again, I made a video that said Oprah was going to find you. I didn't know the number, and I wasn't going to just believe that right away because it was just too crazy of timing. So I guess the first thing that you're probably wondering is, what exactly was it that I submit? I remember being bored at home watching TV, and I was on the internet, and randomly on whatever site I was a little ad that was for the Oprah Winfrey Show that said, "Are you a big texter?" And for those who do know me, you know that I'm a big texter. So I decided to submit to the question, and I honestly don't even really remember what it is that I said exactly. I just know it was long because I like to ramble about everything, and I know that I said something along the lines of, I text all the time, from when I wake up, when I'm at school, I don't know. I said even like when I'm in the bathroom, too much information, I know, but I don't care. I literally text all the time, and there was one time that my phone bill even said that it was about 5,000 to 6,000 text messages used in 1 month. So I just told her, like, I was just a super texter, and I submit that, and they said that they were promoting and looking for the perfect people to take part in this no texting and driving segment, and they looked all summer, and I was one of the last submissions they read, and I was their favorite one because of they said it was because they could feel like the personality, and it was just a different response from everybody else, which were like thousands of people. So, okay, I submit to that, and what I had to do was I needed to go to Joliet, and for those who are not from Chicago, that is where I'm from. Joliet is a suburb around Chicago. I remember in the morning, I woke up, my car was towed, and I thought I was going to miss out on the one opportunity I had to meet Oprah, but it all worked out. I showed up at this racetrack, and what I was supposed to do was I was supposed to take a texting and driving test where I'm supposed to text on my phone, and on the car was a red light, and every time the red light came on, I was supposed to brake, and the point was to show everybody how dangerous it is to text and drive. It was myself and then 2 parents that took part in this experiment, and to sum it all up, so I'm not talking forever, we were done, and I thought that was going to be it, and I was entirely wrong. Jane said, "Okay, good job," and she invited us to go out to the show to watch the segment, but she also told us to not get our hopes up because of how many different interviews they were doing and how many special pieces they had for the segment. They didn't know what was going to make the cut, so she said, "Okay, just come out to the show, whatever." I show up at the studio, and they allowed me to bring 2 people, so I brought my mom and aunt. When I first got there, the first thing that happened was I went through security and they took all my stuff, my phone, my purse, whatever it was that I had, and said, take Jen straight to hair and makeup. I was very confused because, like I said, I thought I was just watching the show in the audience and I didn't know what was going on, but I went to hair and makeup and I asked Jane, like, why do I need to go to hair and makeup? And she said, Oprah is going to interview you about your response and the experiment. That, I mean, I don't even remember if I even said anything because I was so shocked, but everything was such a blur, so whatever. I got my hair and makeup done, and when I was backstage, they said, okay, well, the segment was already going, and they said during the break, go to the front row and find your name. It's on one of the seats, and just sit there, and then she is going to interview the three of you, myself and the two parents, about everything. And all that I had to do was just, be myself and pretty much say what I said in my response. So I go out there, and I remember just like sitting there with my legs crossed and just moving my hands because, one, I've never done any kind of television like that, and two, Oprah was about to interview me, and this was before I had ever even interviewed anybody, so I didn't know what to expect, and I was freaking out, but was also so excited. And it was funny because in my interview, she called me cocky, and not in a mean way. She just said, you were cocky about your answer and said that you could text and drive, and she was just trying to prove a point. And we were just talking about that, and I was basically that teenager, because I was 19 at the time, to be that role model to like the younger generation about texting and driving. Fast forward, I did the worst in the experiment, and they showed all of that on TV. And when the show was over, I just remember being speechless. Like, that really just happened. And while I was packing up and was about to head home, another producer came up to me and said, Jen, Oprah wants to talk to you. Like, what do you have to talk to me for? What? I just thought I was hearing things wrong. And so I go outside to find her, and they were about to film another show. And she goes, hey, I just want to say thank you. You did a great job, and thank you for being a part of the show. And like I said, I started this blog a couple months ago, and I didn't really know what was going to happen. And I didn't tell her what I said in the video, but what I did tell her was, I said, Oprah, I'm going to be the next you, just the Filipino version. And she started laughing, and then she hugged me and said, Jen, the next me will be you, and just keep doing what you're doing because someone needs to be that voice. Who knows if she said it just to be nice and be inspiring, or who knows if she meant it. And ever since she said that to me, it was just this big boost of motivation to not give up on this purpose that I want to fulfill in this life. And I just like when I left, I remember Jane calling me again and saying like, hey, the show, Oprah liked the show so much that she's moving the air date to Martin Luther King Day because she wants as many people to see it since they'll be off work. And again, she said, but we don't know what's going to be included in the segment, but just look out for it and whatever. So the show came on air, and they included every part of the segment that I shot with him. And because the ratings did so well, this was one of her best episodes, they took the show and they put it on her website. And on the website, I was the thumbnail. And I know that may sound like little, but honestly, like out of all the little scenes they could have picked and all the people they could have included, they used my big head. I think I have a big head, or I know I have a big head, on that thumbnail. And I'm texting on my iPhone, I think it was like the 3 then, in one of my friend's vans because I didn't have like my car to use for that day. And so yeah, I was the thumbnail. And it's, to me, like, to look back at July, I said what I was going to do. I didn't know I was actually going to be a guest on her show. I didn't know she was going to interview me. All I wanted to do was meet her just so she could, I don't know, give me advice because, like I said, I wanted to be the next her. And like I've said in other webisodes, you can't force anyone to believe in God or some other higher power or have that kind of faith. But what I will say is you can't tell me that I did all of that and that didn't line up perfectly and that wasn't God trying to reassure me and confirm whatever it is in my heart that I want to do, it can happen. Because meeting Oprah is one thing, but getting interviewed by her and being the thumbnail and doing all that stuff is another. So, like I said, not going to make you believe in him, but if it wasn't God, then who was it that put all of that together for me and had all that perfect timing? This is one of the stories, one of those just stories it's hard to believe, and I have so many of them, and I can't wait to share the rest of those with you on my webisode. So if you want to watch the episode, you can find it in the description below. You can just fast forward to the last 15 minutes and you will see how terrible I did with texting and driving, and you could see my interview where she called me cocky. And yeah, that was a great experience and something I will be forever grateful for. So hopefully this story motivated you or inspired you in some way, but anything can happen. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. So thank you for watching and look out for the next video.